right, let's go ahead and check things out in the Bridgewater. Head over toward the river. That is where meteorologist Paul Goodlow is. Paul, take it away, buddy. You got some pretty strong winds and heavy rain there, too.
Funneled and increased downtown. We're just straight winds blowing right across the Mississippi. And take a look at the whitecaps here, and it's almost like we're on a bay or in an ocean, but this is just the Mississippi River. And normally on a good day you can see well upriver, but that's not happening with Ida and some of those intense rain bands coming through. The rain has been relentless, and typically when you look at the radar, you see those oranges and yellows, some of the heavy rain. That's where the strongest winds are, also co-located with the rain as well. And we're getting the double whammy. We're getting the heavy rain coming in here, testing the half-inch an hour these pumps can handle to get out of here, as well as the wind as well. We're talking probably, last check I heard, hundreds of thousands of customers without power across the New Orleans metro area and southeast Louisiana. In terms of people, I easily would estimate well over 500,000 to 1 million people without power, and that's a growing concern because this is not over yet. Unlike Hurricane Zeta last year, it came in and moved on out. This thing has yet to peak in terms of the intensity here in New Orleans. We're still about, say, 45 miles away from the actual center point of the hurricane. And as that moves past us, we still have the backside to get through. We're not going to go through the eye like we did last year with Hurricane Zeta. We're going through just that right side where some of the most intense winds are coming right in from the Gulf of Mexico, and almost increasing with the forward speed as well. So it is quite a lashing. We were just over on by Toulouse Street, where part of a roof of a building was peeled off of one of these buildings here. So the damage is yet to be kind of surveyed because it's just not safe. Jim mentioned the power crews. They can't get out there and get those bucket trucks up until the wind comes down below 35 miles per hour. So if you're without power, it might be a while before it's safe to start restoring power. This city is not just about the French Quarter, as beautiful as it is and historic as it is. There's so many great neighborhoods here with a lot of trees. And you can see what's happening just to these trees behind me. They're taking a beating with this wind. Imagine neighborhoods with beautiful trees on both sides of streets. There's going to be a lot of debris, a lot of trees breaking power lines, especially in parts of the city that don't have the buried or underground power lines. So it's going to take a while, A, to clean things up, and then B, to restore power. And by the way, a lot of street lights are out, stop signals as well. If there's no flashing lights, treat it as a four-way stop. You don't want to compound things with more traffic accidents, as we're going to be dealing with this throughout the rest of tonight and even after the sun goes down, and more rain and wind tomorrow before things are conditions slowly improve here. And so Hurricane Ida, yet another major hurricane making landfall, as well as the irony of this being the anniversary of Hurricane Katrina making landfall east of here in the Mississippi coastline 16 years ago today. Now, granted, we weren't hit with the eye wall here in New Orleans, but we all remember the visuals of the levee failures and how this city, portions of this city, lower Ninth Ward, which is just behind me this way, literally filled up with water to the roofs of some buildings here. We're not expecting that flooding, that levee, that widespread levee breach and failure. They've improved this system by, I think it's $16 billion have gone into protecting most of this city. But the concern is what's falling from the sky is the rain that's going to cause some flooding. Not Katrina-like flooding, and there's a lot of anxiety that people who lived through that and now are living through this, and also, by the way, lived through last season when we had even Hurricane Laura make landfall just south of Lake Charles. So there's a lot of history, a lot of recent history, and a lot of people on edge. Thankfully, a lot of people did evacuate, and they're hunkered down and probably watching this coverage. We're going to bring you the very latest in terms of when we can start seeing things improve and people can return and hopefully get back to life as normal. But there's still several hours, maybe a day or so to go. Let's get more expert analysis of this and go back to Dr. Rick Knabb, who's in the studios in Atlanta. And Dr. Knabb, the question is just how long are we going to be dealing with these tropical storm force winds? Because some estimates are perhaps another 24 hours here in New Orleans.
That is well within the realm of possibility, Paul, because this is still a Category 4 hurricane. And yes, the 130 miles an hour, that's a bad number. Cat 4, that's a bad number. 938 millibar, still a really low pressure. That's a bad number. But the northwest motion at only 10 miles an hour. Remember yesterday when it was over the northern Gulf, it was moving at 16 or so. And this is probably going to slow down even more. So as it makes this bend around southeast Louisiana, yes, New Orleans will stay in the rain for many, many hours, and that flood risk will become more and more of a concern. So it is remarkable how well organized this system still is, unfortunately, even after having made landfall. But I'll show you why the terrain that it's going over is not all that conducive to spinning it down really quickly. So it's forecast to remain a hurricane all the way past midnight till nearly getting to the Louisiana-Mississippi border. So this will be a hurricane in all likelihood for Baton Rouge, and a big wind event, even with gusts getting well up into Mississippi. So these hurricane warnings still go into southwestern Mississippi. The only thing that's changed here on the latest advisory is the hurricane warning west of Morgan City is a tropical storm warning, and they've brought down the storm surge warnings west of there. But otherwise, we are in the middle of it. The landfall is just the beginning. We have a long, long way to go, and water levels are piling up. That's why the PLOS, we're getting the visuals there of the storm surge flooding there on the west side of Lake Pontchartrain, and I'm sure these gauges aren't measuring all of the inundation we're getting from saltwater flooding. So it is still underneath this big.
Take one? All right.
Every customer has their own Safelite story. This couple was on a camping trip when their windshield got a chip. They drove to Safelite for a same-day repair. And with their insurance, it was no cost to them.
Really?
That's service you can trust.
Safelite Repair, Safelite Replace.
Guy Fieri. You know, if you want to make that sandwich the real deal, you got to focus on the bread layers. King's Hawaiian sliced bread makes everything better.
Honey, why is Guy Fieri in our kitchen?
I don't know.
I'm booking you a one-way ticket to Flavortown with a King's Hawaiian meatball sub. I gotta go. Your neighbor needs King's Hawaiian bread.
Everything's better between King's Hawaiian bread.
Hey, I got you.
Guy Fieri?
The Subaru Forester. Dog tested, dog approved. Whatever gives you life, there's a Life Cuisine meal for you. Like the Life Cuisine Meat Lovers Pizza Bowl, packed with cauliflower and 20 grams of protein. So you can thrive your way. Feed your best life. Life Cuisine.
Just one drop. Oh! Gorilla Super Glue Micro Precise. Of course.
Precise application, controlled dispensing with Gorilla Strength for the toughest jobs on planet Earth. Psst, psst.
Allergies don't have to be scary. Spraying Flonase daily stops your body from overreacting to allergens all season long. Psst, psst. All good.
Reggie Bush used to eat breakfast somewhere else. Then you tried Wendy's breakfast. Now we can't get rid of them.
Can you believe this breakfast croissant is only $1.99?
Yeah, Reggie. I put the sign up.
Choose wisely. Choose Wendy's.
When we feel supported from within, our confidence to take on the world outside comes from way deeper. It's within us.
The Weather Channel and its climate team at Pattern are connecting you every day to the most fascinating stories impacting our planet. If it's out there, it's in here. The Weather Channel.
With Dexcom G6, I don't have to prick my fingers anymore. This little wearable sends my glucose number straight to my phone.
You can see your number and where it's heading. And I get alerts before I go too high or before I go too low. The Dexcom G6 has helped me lower my A1C.
If there's pain when you try to poo and going sometimes feels like you push through a pineapple or two, Colace is the brand you need to soften stools, we're all agreed. Number 2 should be easy to do.
Trust Colace to soften stools with no stimulants for comfortable relief.
Had enough? No. Arthritis. Here, new Aspercream arthritis.
Full prescription strength. Reduces inflammation.
Thank the gods. Don't thank them too soon.
Kick pain in the Aspercream.
Allergy sufferers. Bedtime means it's time to take Zysol. Zysol relieves allergies while you sleep, so you wake refreshed. And in a clinical study, after just 1 day, 90% felt powerful 24-hour relief. So be wise all. Take Zysol at night.
Currently in our area, 75 degrees under cloudy skies. Tonight, skies clearing overnight. A stray shower or thunderstorm is possible. Low 74. Monday, mixed clouds and sun with scattered thunderstorms. High 86. Chance of rain 60%. Monday night, partly cloudy, chance of a thunderstorm. Low 73. Chance of rain 40%. Here's our 7-day outlook.
When it comes to covering the most important issue facing us and our Earth, one day does make all the difference. Now, the Weather Channel and its innovative climate team at Pattern are connecting you every day to the most fascinating stories impacting our planet. For what's now and what's next, rely on the climate experts with the most trusted name in TV news. If it's out there, it's in here. The Weather Channel.
Thanks for staying with us here on the Weather Channel as we continue to track exceptionally strong Hurricane Ida. We've got crews out in the field, including our own Jim Cantori, who has been showing us the scene there in the city of New Orleans. And Jim, you know, we're dealing with the wind right now, but we also know that heavy rain is going to be a significant component to this storm in the city.
Oh my God! And we just got a flood warning, flash flood warning out for Metairie. So that's the other thing. The fact that this is stalled or basically crawling at this point, you know, we're going to see a lot more of these flood warnings come out. And what's amazing to me is it really hasn't lost much. So we're getting a combination of destructive winds. And believe me, what I'm standing in here is not representative of the full eye wall here. Okay, I'm in between two buildings. I made no bones about that. I want to give you a little bit better representation of what it's like in the city when you're not protected. So here it is, right here. And, you know, we're gusting to about 75 here, but you're talking about winds that are still over 100 miles an hour. Still over 100 miles an hour gusts. All right, and as a result of that, you know, that's 30 times more powerful, if you will, than the Cat 1 winds that we're standing in here in the city. So flash flood warnings for Metairie, so areas just to my south. That is obviously part of the metro area. We've got about almost 500,000 customers now. 500,000 people without power. That number's only going up. There's not going to be any restoration whatsoever. But as big as this thing is and how powerful it continues to be. All right, rain has been heaviest over the last hour here. We were down a couple of inches